Ooh, yeah. Freak out. Yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, And this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah. And I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Dig it?
49er Mind is it's not just a thought process, but a way of life. 49er Mind. 49er Mind. Can't shake it. It's 49er Mind that I got. It's 49er Shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A red and gold session. About a red and gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions. Let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the spot? That's how it's been in the spot. Let's roll that back, all that crack, all that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the story on, as long as the story aligns with a 49er Mind. 49er Minded. It's not just a thought process, 49er Minded, but a way of life. The Shar. 49er Minded. Way of life. 49er Minded.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. We delayed the start of the show off just a little bit, but I appreciate everybody waiting patiently in the chat. So let me say what's up to them. Raphael was the first one here. What up, Raphael? Says, what's up, Bashar? GinaReppinDaBay, everyone. We got Mariah. What's up, Mariah, from 49er Faithful League Podcast. How you doing? She had a great show earlier with her co-host, TL. What up, Tanya? She says, what a do, fam? Kenny says, we got the #1 defense. What up, Cowboy Angel? How you doing? Says 10 in a row. Let's do this. John V. What up, John V? He's co-hosted with me plenty of times on our little post-game shows and all that. And what up, Corey Davis? He's in the house. Becky's here. She says, what's up, Bashar? And without further ado, let me bring up my special guest. You guys may have seen her on her channel, GinaReppinDaBay. She's got tons of opinions. Really, really nice, friendly person, and she brings on all different kinds of fans from all different kinds of fan bases on her shows, which is great. And let me just bring her on. What is up, Gina? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Bashar?
Not much. Just trying to fight through this crazy rainstorm that we have going on here in the Northern California Bay Area, is dealing with it as well. And other than that, I'm surviving. I'm doing good, and enjoying my Niners. That's for sure. In the new year.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go for that #1 seed and at least secure #2.
Yeah, it looks like we got #2. I don't know if the Eagles are going to lose 3 games in a row. I welcome it. I want it to happen, but I don't see it happening, so to speak. But who knows? I could be wrong.
Yeah.
We got Brandon Latiker. How you doing, bro? Good to have you here.
What's up, everybody in the chat, fam?
Yeah, a lot of familiar faces. We always appreciate you guys coming in and watching our shows. Gina every now and then pops in, and I've been on her show before, and I always like to return the favor. People have me on their channels. And we got Brian Cope here.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
A lot of people are tricking here. Yeah, we're gonna get more people coming in. I know it. Yeah. I didn't know you got a lot of people. She's got quite a big following on Twitter. If you don't follow her on Twitter, just go ahead and check the description box of this video. I have her YouTube channel on there. You can subscribe to her YouTube channel. Check her out on Twitter. Follow her on all of her social media. If you're not familiar with her, definitely check her channel out. Let's get started. So a lot of people want to know with my guests, and I always ask these questions, how do they first become a 49er fan? I think it's really, really important to find out everybody's story, how they became 49er fans. Some people have more extensive stories than others, but everybody has their own unique story without a doubt.
Yeah. This is actually my favorite part of talking about the Niners, how it came to be. In my blood, I actually do bleed red and gold. It's it's like generation to generation. I am a 3rd generation San Franciscan. Okay, so and it's not just, you could be born in San Francisco, parents, whatever, but they're San Francisco 49er fans too. And my parents were at the Catch, right? So it was my mom and my dad. They all of them and their friends, and my aunt and 2 uncles and like their friends from like 18th and Shotwell in the Mission District. They all pulled their money together and said, okay, we're going to this NFC championship. This is like the biggest thing in the history of the Niners, and we're going to do whatever we can to get these damn tickets. And I don't know how much they were. I'd have to find that out. But they
way cheaper than what we pay for today, that's for sure.
Okay, I'm telling you. And I just got to say shout out real quick to Mariah and Tanya, my sis, both my sisses, and everybody that's always stopped by in my chats too. And they gave the money to my uncle Bobby and my uncle Gary, who sat a Candlestick all night long waiting in the mud, rain and mud, for these tickets. So talk about faithful, right? And so long story short, they were at the game, they saw the catch, I think they were in the upper reserves, and they cried. They all cried. So, and then I was also at the parade. Now, mind you, before that even happened, I remember being at the when the what was it? Oh no. Being at when they won the Super Bowl, we drove through the whole like city where, were from where I lived, Pennsylvania, in Potrero Hill, and we drove to where my aunt and uncle lived, which was over by 30th and Mission in front of Safeway, and that's where they were all celebrating. And I remember going, "What is going on here? Like, this is insane," And my mom's like, the 49ers won. Like, this is what's going on. And I was just like, oh my God, like something I'd never seen, didn't know that I would get used to that the rest of my, young life. And so I was about 7 at that time in 81. So, and I don't care if I'm dating myself, but yes.
I do it too sometimes. I don't really care.
I'm like, whatever. But yeah. And then after that, I apparently went to the parade. Now I was, like I didn't have that feeling of like, yeah, like go Niners, like in terms of like my mom, I was there, but I was a little kid. So I was more like, why are all these people stepping on me? And my mom's like, shut up. It's Joe Montana, Joe, and I was just like, no. But
now you have your regrets.
I have my regrets, but I did appreciate that I was like, like, yeah, my mom's like, yeah, we're going to the parade. And I was like, woohoo. But, at the time, like, I just kind of really didn't.
You thought it was a parade, like with Mickey Mouse or something like that at Disneyland or something like that. She said parade.
Well, no, not like that. I just thought, why are so many people like not caring about me? Like, I'm a child, they are stepping on me, and they were stepping on my brother, and I was like, come on, Mike. But
I was old enough back then. I was probably in kindergarten or something, but my parents had no idea what football was at the time, and I wasn't introduced until football until later in life, and my brother and I latched onto it later in life. And so unfortunately I missed the catch game, missed the Super Bowl that year. And even when the Dan Marino Super Bowl was playing on TV, I saw it on TV, but I still wasn't into football back then. So it kind of sucks. And then ironically, the first Super Bowl I sat and paid attention to all the way through was the following year's Super Bowl, which was with the Chicago Bears, because all the hype about the Chicago Bears was just over. Like, the 49ers didn't get that much coverage as Super Bowl teams back then.
Yeah.
But the Bears freaking make the Super Bowl, and you turn on the TV, you see the Super Bowl shuffle and all these commercials, and you can't get away from the Chicago Bears. So you're like, okay, I want to watch the Super Bowl. That's what happened to me. That was my first introduction to really getting into football. But then obviously I became a Niner fan. But yeah, so everybody has their own little story. Kenny's here. He says 80s Niners were amazing. My biggest memory was Huey Lewis and the News. Excellent group. I love them. So many hits.
I love them. They're in San Francisco. Yep. Hey, Kenny, what's going on?
That's a good friend of mine in the Pacific Northwest. He said, I like the song they sang, and I remember them always supporting the Niners. Oh yeah, of course. Without a doubt.
Yeah, and after those, like, partying in the streets, like, I made it a point to like always tell my mom and stuff, we were like, are we going back to the Mission Street? Are we doing that? And she's like, hell yeah, we are. So that was tradition. That's what we did. And we just drove by, and then I remember every time they won an NFC championship, if they weren't, like at one or something, that's just what we did. So, but unfortunately, what the only NFC Championship game I got to go to was at Candlestick. They lost, and that was against the Giants. Eli
The Kyle Williams
Manning.
game.
Yes.
Yeah, I was there.
Yes.
I was at that stupid game.
I don't even, and we were like, okay, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna go to 24th and Mission, la, 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 la. And it was just we didn't even want to talk to each other after that game.
That was such
But
a bad feeling.
I know, and it was just like, man, why?
Your family got you into being Niners, and you were like, I went to this amazing parade, and I want to know what this is about, and you were definitely intrigued. That's an amazing introduction.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I had been to like the only other parades I've been to. Sadly, I didn't go to another Niners parade like as a like grown adult, but San Francisco Giants 2010 parade and this last Warriors parade. So, you know, I mean, I figure you go to like one parade of your team, you know, like I just wish that now I wish I could take it back and go to like other 49ers parades, you know, but
yeah, I did to go to a Niner parade, and I did to go to a Warriors parade, and then go to the Giants parade. So I have some catching up to do. I
mean, I was like 19 when they
Niner parade. God willing, it's coming up pretty soon. So
right.
Yeah, one of these years, if not.
Why didn't I go when I was 19 years old? You know,
I should have went. Yeah, I think I just turned 18. I was just turning 18 when our last one happened, unfortunately, and I missed that. Oh well, hey, it's great to hear your story as far as becoming a Niner fan. And do you remember what the first 49er jersey you owned was?
Ooh, the first jersey. You know, I think I always bought like T-shirts, but I do remember the last time I had a jersey. Around the first time. Oh, that's really hard. I'm sure it was like Joe Montana or something, but I can't guarantee it. But I do
Your mom
know
bought you some nice little jersey back then, huh?
I maybe, yeah. But I do know that the first one I bought myself for sure was Jeff Garcia.
Not a bad jersey. Mine was Garrison Hurst. I've always been a big Garrison Hurst fan since then, and unfortunately, my jersey was one of those ones. It wasn't a print on jersey. It's one of those screen print. Actually, it was a screen printed ones. It wasn't stitched, and those older ones didn't last too good in terms of the washer and dryer if you had them for a certain period of time. Do you remember what the first game you attended was? Do you have any good memories of attending one of your first games, perhaps at the Stick?
The first game at the Stick. I don't remember, only because my memory is really shot.
One that really stands out for you that you would remember. How about that?
Oh God. Monday Night Football was the first time I got to go at the Candlestick. We had gotten in for free. I knew somebody, a security guard that worked there. Yeah, and he was getting us into every game shouldn't say for free. We tipped him. We all I was coming in 20 guys deep. My brothers, all their friends, and at the time it was my ex-husband, and I was like, hey, I can get you in for free. You know, we were just dating and stuff. And he was like, okay, you know, and my cousin, it was a lot of fun. But I remember I was like
that once. We rolled with somebody who had all these hookups, so he got us in.
I'm like, I'm in Monday Night Football. I can't believe it. You know, it was just amazing. And we lost, you know, but Jeff Garcia was the quarterback at that time. And it was one of our worst records, ever.
That was probably the year that Steve Young got hurt, huh? I think when Jeff Garcia first became the quarterback.
It was the 03-04 season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what's up to 49er Tone. Really great friend of mine from the Candlestick days, actually. He says he's at work, but he's watching on the phone. And let's go for Niners, 49er Minded. Thank you. I don't know if you know, maybe you know this guy too. If you saw his picture, maybe you'd recognize him. And he said his first jersey was Deion Sanders custom jersey 21 with his name on the back.
Nice.
1994 Christmas. First with the player's name on the back was Jerry Rice. Reversible. Nice. Yeah, I need to get myself a recent jersey. I'm definitely due. What's up, Swan Song? I see you, man. And yeah, so we're almost done with these questions, and then we're gonna go off to the Arizona Cardinals preview and talk about the current team. But
I mean, now I like.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying now I have a Warner jersey. I have 2 Vernon Davis jerseys. One of them signed by Mostert, and then the other, my son got it signed at training camp. And then I have a Garoppolo, but that one I got from Ross. And then
I've got a few 49er jerseys at Ross back in the day, man. Not the stitched ones, but the screen printed ones. I got a Willis, I got a Gore, I got a Jimmy. You know what? I was gonna ask you, is that Kent Kezar Stadium behind you? I wasn't sure, and Becky said it too. Okay,
yes.
So that's what Kezar Stadium currently looks like. It used to look a lot bigger. I wasn't sure. I was thinking it might have been. Yeah, Kezar Stadium used to look a lot bigger, but they made it look more like a high school stadium now.
I used to live a mile away from Kezar, so I feel like this kind of reminds me of home. I lived on Hayes Street, over by Masonic. So walking distance to Kezar.
Very few 49er. You mentioned the whole thing about third generation San Franciscan and all this, and I lived in the Bay Area. I lived in Pinole, San Jose. I even lived in Southern California. Now I'm in Northern California, but I never ever lived in San Francisco. Very few. None of my relatives ever lived in San Francisco. A few people I know, but it's just awesome that you grew up there and you're a 49er fan. And you even said that you I think you were telling me before that you knew Dave Canal, or that rapper that I had on the show before. You lived by him or something like that when you grew up.
Yeah, Dave Canal. What's up? Niner Sickness podcast. Tanya knows exactly where that is. Yep, I lived on Hayes and between Central and Lyon. I actually had Super Bowl, the one against the Ravens at my house, and he had just finished recording the one home, Farewell to Candlestick. He had just finished recording that, and I was in that video, and he goes, "Hey, can I use your laptop so I can listen to it real quick?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, This is like, you're getting an unreleased version right now, downloaded on your computer. And I was like, ooh, I was like so happy. And then I was in rehab when the video dropped.
Okay. There you go. That's a great song though. This Is Home. It's Dave Canal. I've had him on the show. He used to be under the name Heat. But if you had a chance to look at him after the show, he's walking around Candlestick. And it's just like a few years before, it was like maybe a couple years before he moved to Levi's, and he's like, "This is home." It's just like, it's a really emotional song about the Niners and the tough times, the high times, and definitely highly recommend anybody check that out if they haven't already.
And fun fact, he's at Kezar when he does the first song, Die Hard. He's sitting there on the stands when he does the one with where he drops all the about Harbaugh and Patrick Willis and all those, Frank Gore. So that song is one of my favorites too. That he does.
I'm a song overdue. Let me say what's up to some people who got here kind of late. We started late, actually. We were supposed to start at 7 on the dot, but it's all good. What up, Kelts Chronicles? Check out his YouTube channel. It says, "What's up, Bash, Gina, and the faithful?" Yee. I can't say yee the same way this guy does. So many layers to this game. He always says, "There's so many layers to this." I'm a bad impersonation, but I'm working on it. Let's see. Jesus Christ, my King is here. How you doing? Good buddy of mine from the Rombo chats. Master Andy Craft, really good friend of mine, actually. Me and him go way back. If I miss it, David McNiner's here. What up, David McNiner? And Beto from Niner Sickness Podcast. Check out his YouTube channel. Great to have you guys here. Steve-O Supremo is here as well.
Oh, I know him.
Okay. You know him too. Okay, great. So do you have any experiences as far as meeting any 49er players or anything like that?
I talked about one time, it's kind of funny, meeting Jerry Rice in City Hall, San Francisco City Hall. I thought it was like 5 years ago, but actually it was when I was still married. So it was probably about a good 10, maybe 15 years ago. He was in a live press conference and I tapped him behind the shoulder and I said, "Hi, can I get your autograph?" And the press conference was going on. I used to work in City Hall.
Don't you tapped on his shoulder when the press conference is going on?
Yeah, because I really wanted that auto. And
but he wasn't like on the panel or with the microphone in front of him.
No, he was just standing there, like, and
I get.
And he turns around and I go, "Hi, Jerry, can I have your autograph?" And he's like, "Sure." And so I give him this like rough piece of paper and a pen, and he's like, and I'm like, by the way, my brothers love you. Not I love you, not my husband loves you, nothing like that, you know, and no picture. I had a cell phone. I did not take a picture, nothing, just like some bumbling idiot, like fan, you know, like I was starstruck. And so we're like, and then he starts like laughing. He's like, you know, and I'm just like, oh, thanks, Jerry.
I don't know if you have any other stories, but that's the one Niner player that I want to meet. And I even went out of, I know he's markets his Go Fuel energy drink. Not sure if any of you guys tried it. I know John V's in the chat. He's tried it.
I've never tried it.
And I finally found it in Roseville where I live, because I was going to random stores, and every time I go to a random store, I'm like, oh, let me see if they sell Go Fuel. And they don't sell it. Then I found Beverages and More sells. It's kind of a plug to them.
Oh, that's cool. Hey,
so
Terry.
I bought it and I took a picture of me and I put it on Twitter and Instagram, and I tagged Go Fuel and Jerry Rice. So, hey, I'm finally getting to drink Go Fuel. But I wanted to meet Jerry Rice some way, somehow. He does a lot of promotional things where if a certain store is carrying his products, that he'll go there for autographs and signings and all that. What up, Taryn TL from 49er Faithful Lead Podcast? Him and Mariah run that channel. Definitely check out their channel. They had a stream earlier today. Great people over in Las Vegas.
Yes, I've had them on my show in the past.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. I want to have both of them on my show at one point in time. Hopefully I can get that to happen. So you definitely met Jerry Rice. That's awesome. I know you were talking about, so I remember you said it I was watching a show and you guys were talking about leading up to Thanksgiving and what you guys eat and all stuff for Thanksgiving and all this stuff. And you were like, I'm half Sicilian and we eat pastas and we eat bread and we eat blah, blah, blah. That's what Sicilian people eat, blah, blah. So I don't know if you know this, but week in and week out, I ask my pizza questions. I'm not Italian, I'm Middle Eastern, but if you ever check out my Instagram or Twitter, I'm always posting pictures of pizzas that I make in my backyard pizza oven. It's a big thing that I'm passionate about, is making pizzas or cooking in general. So as asking you this question, especially since you got it in your bloodlines, what's your personal pizza preference? I mean, are we looking at New York style, Detroit style, Chicago deep dish, Sicilian style, or give me a different style of pizza that's your favorite? And what is your favorite spot in the Bay Area to get pizza?
Okay, so I mean, I'm a California girl, so this is what I've known. I mean, I've tried New York, I've tried Chicago style. The only one I know, I've never been to Chicago, but I've had Zachary's, in Berkeley.
Zachary's is very good.
Yeah, it's the closest I've come to trying Chicago style. I love a thick crust. My favorite toppings are sausage, mushroom, and olive. And it's all in the sauce for me, so it can't be like bombarded with cheese. I have to taste the sauce. Yeah, I like Bravo's. I haven't been there in a long time, but you know who used to make the best pizza, and I don't know if they still do because I don't live there anymore, is when I used to live on Hayes Street, Sibel's Front Room.
I remember Sibel's. I went to the Berkeley location though. Yeah, I went to the Berkeley location.
Okay. But not all Sibel's.
They're more of a thicker crust.
Yes, right. I love the thick crust. Not all Sibel's are like that, because the one in Daly City sucks. But the one on
hopefully they're not watching.
Well, so then fix it.
Fix your pizza, guys.
The one on Irving was fucking bomb. And then this other place that closed, unfortunately, Stella Doro on Divisadero. They were so good and they fucking closed. I'm sorry, I'm swearing. They closed and I was so sad. And they were my favorite, but they closed. But who else has good pizza now still? It depends. Viva Italiano is good. It's not my favorite. They're in Pacifica.
My friend always goes there. That's how I knew about it. Never had it though.
It's good. Wait, what? Papa Murphy's. Oh, shut up, Kenny.
Some people are really simple with their pizzas. They're not like me, where I'm elite, or some of these other people. I'm not going to knock anybody. Papa Murphy's isn't bad though. They got their own version of the Chicago. That's a take and bake. It's really, really thick. It's actually pretty good. That's I don't like their thin crust though. Oh, we got Roundtable over here. Roundtable's not bad for a chain.
You know what? I have to say, I will not turn down Roundtables. If it has to have like a combination on it though. If it has like everything, if it has everything on it, I'll eat it, because then there's something about it with the crust and everything, and then you get like your fill, But if it's just like just pepperoni, like then I'm cool. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me say what's up to Nighthawk Afterburner. He'd be a legend in these YouTube streets. If he ever used to watch a Rambo show from a few years back, he was an avid caller on there. We got all kinds of pizza answers at the end. Recent response to the chat. More so than ever. I can't even keep up with them. So many of them. We're almost forgetting there's a Niner game coming on. But we'll definitely get to the Niners Arizona Cardinals matchup. But I have to drop one more food question because you said you lived in something about the Mission District, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to Mission District, San Francisco, I'll stick my neck out for all of California for the Mission District. When it comes to taquerias, burritos, quesadillas, you name it.
I was waiting.
You have not had good Mexican food in California unless you've gone to Farolito in the Mission District or a place nearby.
Boom.
Any place nearby.
So I live approximately 1 block from El Farolito on 24th and Mission.
Oh, wow. Well, okay. You're in paradise, and if you live right by that place. I haven't played that place in years, and I miss it dearly.
Approximately like I could stumble out and be like there.
I'd eat there every day if that was the case. I'd almost forget about my pizza. So Kels Chronicle says pizza by heart at Palo Alto. They're not bad. They're not pizza. I've had them in San Jose.
I've had pizza in my heart, but it's all right. It depends.
I hate to say this, but a lot of these people, when I read all these names of chains, I'm like, oh, my pizza's better. My pizza's better. But I'm not trying to be cocky about it or whatever. So somebody's talking about Haystacks Pizza. Okay, never heard of them. Serena, welcome to the channel, Serena.
Haystacks, yes. Haystacks Pizza, okay. Yes. And you know what?
Fortnite's First Takes is a half Sicilian, a good friend of mine actually runs his channel. I'll check him out. The true Italian who uses 3 meats for meatballs.
Serena, thank you. Right. Serena's my cousin. What's up to Serena?
Oh, okay. There you go. Brian Cope, La Taqueria and La Cumbre Mission are 2 very good places as well. Those are true. Yeah, the Mission District. If you've never been to San Francisco and you're planning on going there, get some real Mexican food in the Mission District. You'll thank me for it. All right, we got a game coming up. We came off of a crazy game in Las Vegas, a game that a lot of us would like to forget. Even though we won, we came out on top. I get it, but it's not fun when you see this no-name quarterback, Jared Stidham, run out there and throw for, was it 365 yards on us and take the game into overtime. And now we're most likely facing another no-name quarterback, David Blau, if I'm saying his name right. Versus the Cardinals. Yeah, and we stopped the Cardinals in Mexico, and that was great. Our different quarterback. We had Jimmy G that game. We didn't have Brock Purdy. But do you have any thoughts about any quick thoughts about the past Raider game and this upcoming game really quick?
No, I'm just wondering if we are going to either sit Christian McCaffrey or if we're just going to give him less snaps. And, what are the concerns with trying to with the defense and everything, are we fighting for the seed?
As far as the seed goes, we have to hope that the Eagles lose. That's pretty much what it relies on.
Right. Because we were talking before the show and it'd be cool to get that number 1 seed, but as long as we secure the number 2, that's all that matters.
And here's the deal: the Eagles game runs side by side simultaneously when we play.
With ours. Yes.
Yeah, so and even I believe if the Eagles lost, we'd still have to win the game anyways. I believe if anybody in the chat wants to correct me on that, they can go ahead. But from what I understand, it looks like Christian McCaffrey's not going to play. I'm not sure if I saw any official word on that, but he did do some work on practice on the practice field today. He's still suffering a mild ankle sprain. Did some warm-ups today. I mean, it would be smart for them not to play him. I'd say just rest him. And who knows? Who knows? Debo might be healthy for this upcoming game too, but it sounds like and he practiced today. Elijah Mitchell was back in practice. Saw a video of him in practice, and he looked really, really quick on his feet.
And I'm wondering about Bosa, with the defense. I'm just wondering, are they going to play Bosa?
You know what? I was hoping last week against the Raiders was the game that we saw Bosa at least tie Alden Smith's sack record.
That's what I was wondering.
A weak team, and lo and behold, the freaking Raiders offensive line looks like the Washington Redskins Hogs of back in the day. If you remember those guys, that brick wall of an offensive line that they had, and Bosa,
I was like, we're getting 3 or 4 sacks.
Held. So I think he was getting held. Even on Ebukam on that one play, they threw the Devontae Adams on the left sideline. We had that big play where nobody was even guarding him. I felt like you could totally see freaking Ibukam get horse collared. It was just crazy. Kenny says 49ers got the best backups in the league. I said the starters. We still win. Number one defense. We did look like the number one defense against the Raiders, though. That's the unfortunate thing. Sometimes those trap games and those weird fluky type games do happen. I just saw a clip, and I think it was on New Year's Eve. It was from Vegas this past weekend, actually. It was E40 singing "Bang Bang Niner Gang." And I believe it was literally the night before the Raider, it was basically New Year's Eve, the night before the actual game. And on stage with E40 was Jimmy Ward. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm pretty sure. I'm not saying the Raiders players didn't party or anything like that, but maybe the Niners players just partied a little too harder and because they took it easy and now we're just playing Jarrett Stidham. Who's this guy? This guy sucks. And prior to this Niner game, Stidham did nothing in his NFL career. He was on the Patriots before, and he was never known to be a good quarterback, and we caught him on his best day ever.
Yeah.
And we almost lost because of it.
Marcus Mariota, Falcons game.
Yeah, John V. I was doing the post game with him. He was saying that it's right here. He was saying that Marcus Mariota we made him look like Randall Cunningham in that game. So you never know what can happen in these NFL. We may think that these guys suck and they're weak or whatever, but it's any given Sunday. It's so true. 49er Tone says, anyone going to the first round playoff game next week? I haven't been able to use my tickets this year due to work, but I'll be there with wifey and Pops tailgating. Say what's up to your father, by the way, Pops, and have fun out there, 49er Tone. I know you guys are going to enjoy yourselves, and hopefully we definitely win that game. It looks like we're looking at the playoff seeding, and I was looking at it before the show started, and I saw this chart for the playoff seedings, and it looks like if we continue to be the number 2 seed that most people assume, it looks like we're playing the New York Giants. The Giants are currently 9-6-1, and so that's who we might be playing. Now, they don't necessarily scare me as a team, but I don't want to go into that game taking them lightly either.
Right. Yeah, no, they because they especially started off on a hot streak, and Dable was, in my opinion, up for, coach of the year at some point in the season. And I don't know if he still is going to get that same recognition. Of course, there are some people, Niners fans are biased. Kyle should get it, but definitely Dable did a hell of a job. So I don't put anything past the Giants.
Yeah, take a step back, and even if you're not a 49er fan, though, you can look at what Kyle's doing this year. We're on our third quarterback. People are constantly in and out of the lineup because our players always get hurt for whatever stupid reason there is. But hey, we're on this amazing winning streak, and we're still winning games. We clinched our division early, so Kyle's definitely in the conversation.
Yes.
Now, if he doesn't win it, I'm not going to sit there and cry or anything about it. Because for me, all these Pro Bowl, I get it when people get snubbed from the Pro Bowl and all that. It happens, and certain whatever awards there may be. But the only award to me that matters is the Lombardi Trophy.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
Got 6.
Yeah, we better do it one way or another, this year or next year, whenever. David McNiner says if the Giants win, we get the number 1 seed. Go 49ers. And oh, really? He said if the Giants win, we get the number 1 seed. Oh, that's because they're playing the Eagles. Yeah, duh. Yep. So it's gonna be very interesting. So do we, David, do we automatically get the number 1 seed and we don't have to even win the Cardinals game? Now the thing is, like I was saying, we're playing both games at the exact same time. So I guess Kyle's just gonna try to win the game regardless, even if we do throw out certain players who aren't starters, and we'll just find a way to make it happen. The Cardinals. I'm going to mention some stuff about the Cardinals really quick in terms of what they've done as of late, and they're on a 6-game losing streak, guys. So again, I'm not here to laugh at our upcoming opponents or say, hey, we're going to win 55-0 and then call it a day. But it's very rare that lightning strikes the same place twice at the same time as well. When you play a team that's lackluster and you're just a great team, and then you sit there and play like ass against them. It's rare that happens 2 weeks in a row, but we're on a 9-game winning streak. We have an opportunity to make it 10. As far as the Cardinals defense goes, they give up 25.7 points per game, 29th in the league. I believe we average as an offense. I posted up on my Twitter, actually. I put up an interesting tweet that went viral. I must say, it pissed a lot of people off on my Twitter. Well, some didn't piss off everybody. Most people were like, "Oh wow, that's cool," but certain people got pissed off when I put it up. Basically, I put up under Brock Purdy, the 49ers are currently averaging 32 points per game, and when Jimmy Garoppolo was a quarterback, it was 23.6 per game. And not sure if you knew about that, Gina.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, actually, it had how many it had like 846 likes and like basically 64 retweets, and people were like, "Oh, you're a Jimmy hater. Why would you say that? And Jimmy hasn't played with CMC." And I was like, he has played with CMC, and he has played with both CMC and Debo simultaneously. Brock Purdy didn't have that luxury, but I wasn't trying to make it about like a battle or anything. I was just gonna say, hey, well, Purdy's out there and we're scoring more points. What do you think about the whole Purdy thing since he's been taken over and we're on this hot streak?
I mean, look, if he came in and had one arm, hey, if he's taking us to the damn playoffs, that's who we're rolling with. If Jimmy comes back healthy, let's just say he did. I'm sorry, but you got to roll with the hot hand. Even if the guy has one arm, like I said, one arm.
The one-arm quarterback.
The one-arm quarterback. I just, he ran his course with us. It's time to move on. It's time to move on. And we said our goodbyes last season. We said our goodbyes.
He said his goodbyes to the media. Remember, he was like, it was after we lost to the Rams, and he was just the media didn't even utter it first. He went out there to say, "Oh, blah blah blah. It's been a great ride. Yada yada. Great knowing you guys. Yada yada yada." So he was giving everybody else the notion that he wasn't coming back. So
right.
We appreciate what he did. Now, again, I'm gonna be critical about things. If I see things that I do not like, I don't just sit there and say, "Hey, I hate you. I'm going to fucking say bad things about you because you're an asshole and I'm an asshole. Fuck you." I'm not that kind of person. Mm-hmm. I watch the games, and if I see things, if I see a pattern of behavior and I'm out there and I'm like, okay, this is not looking good for our team because these are problems that we are seeing week after week. And the top teams in the league that are winning Super Bowls or that have elite quarterbacks, their guys aren't making those same mistakes. And that's all I'm saying. And at the end of the day, I want my team to be the best fucking team, most dominant fucking team in this league every fucking year. I want us to win the Super Bowl every fucking year after every fucking year. And if we're not winning fucking Super Bowls, I can give a flying fuck if we won 2 playoff games 10 years in a row. I don't care.
Right.
That's me.
No.
If you're not like that, do you. You can be you. I'm going to be me, though, and I'm not going to change for anybody.
I'm with you. And Taryn was saying Jimmy was holding back this offense, in my opinion. I totally agree. If you, we were saying this on my show too, which if you guys can, please subscribe, GinaReppinDaBay Productions.
Check out our channel, guys.
There is so much now that you've seen Kyle pull out of his bag. Isn't it amazing? He has brought out so much, and now, because we all know that Kyle doesn't necessarily like to do the deep passes. We know it's a run heavy offense. We have a defensive, mindset, but or identity, I should say. But we know that Kyle loves those short passes. And why is Brock just sitting there completing all of them, right? I mean, especially, right now, I mean, it's there's some wear and tear, but in the beginning when we're winning and winning and winning, it's like this last game against the Raiders was the first time he was actually challenged. And we thought, okay, we're supposed to win this game. We're supposed to tear this shit up. Bosa's supposed to get 3-4 sacks on him, right? Because that's what I thought. Well, now,
that's so too.
Right? I mean, I literally tweeted that. I'm like, oh, he's getting 3 sacks. He's getting 4, I think. But now Purdy's taken on this challenge. Kyle's coming out the bag with some good plays. Nothing too fancy, but we're answering. And probably shouldn't have went into OT. That's not really on Purdy. That's really on, Gold. But at least we finished the job. So offense was carrying when defense was fucking up in the first half. I think we have a complete team now.
I can't remember the last time our defense didn't show up and then the offense completely had to bail the team out. And we saw that. And I wasn't expecting that going into the game. None of us did, actually. And it's good to know that we passed that test, and especially with our young rookie quarterback. So and Brock Purdy didn't play a perfect game, guys. He had his moments where he was struggling, but he found a way to bounce back from it. And John V says, exactly, Gina, the entire offense is high percentage completions for yards after the catch, essentially a modern Walsh system. And every now and then we do throw in those play action plays where you'll see a bigger play down the field. And it's nice that Kittle is getting more of the run now. 49er Throwbacks had something for you in the comments. He said,
and thank you for subbing, Cowboy.
Oh, Cowboy Angel, subscribe to your channel? Where you say that?
He said sub.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, cool.
Thank
What's up,
you.
Cowboy? How you doing? Really great viewer. A 49er Throwback had a little question for you. Where is it? If I'm trying to find it, he said, here you go. He said, Gina, did you know that when Garoppolo was a quarterback, McCaffrey averaged just 4.2 yards per carry? Since Purdy has taken over, McCaffrey is averaging 5.1 yards per carry. That shows Purdy's impact. And CMC's impact too. It's a great acquisition. What do you think?
The best trade this season, probably for our franchise, and I don't know how long. Like without him, I mean, obviously you didn't see it the week that we got him because we played Kansas City and he only had 10 or 12 snaps. You couldn't really.
I think he had 12 touches against Kansas City.
Yeah, the package was so small, but
he just joined the team. Yeah.
That's what she said. But okay, sorry. I catch myself doing that all the time. Okay, but he didn't really, have enough time to get, it together. But since then, 9-game win streak. Hello, Tanya. But yeah, it's like we just what John said, and just what 49ers Throwback said. We're on fire. The Brock is hot. CMC, it's run CMC. It's like we're out of control now. We're the team that these analysts on ESPN and what have you say that they're watching out for us. They're scared of us. Teams are scared of us. They don't want to face us. They don't want to face our defense. They don't have that much film on Brock. I mean, they only have a few games.
Usually NFL coaches, from what I was hearing, Zach Hernandez, a really good guy from 49ers Hive, runs a great YouTube channel. He was saying, not sure where he picked this up from, but he was saying that a lot of coaches usually need about 4 games of film to truly study an NFL quarterback. So we pretty much hit that mark and a little bit more. But, with Purdy, I've seen this multiple times. Well, thoughts will run through my head. And I'll notice certain shortcomings, and I'll have my doubts. And other people have said this too. Like anytime you just doubt him for whatever reason, he finds a way to overcome it. In a different facet, perhaps, or do something different. But he'll do enough, and he'll do whatever he has to do to overcome that hump. So.
Well, and the tools are there, right? Like we heard that Brock was actually changing up plays the final 2 minutes. I mean, Jimmy could have never done that. Let's just call it what it is, and the only thing, really needs to do is just ball placement, right? And the other thing that could hurt us is what we know Kyle for, which is the final quarter, the last quarter. That's his Achilles heel. And so if he could just get over that, then we're set, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know Kyle kind of got some blame for even way back when Matt Ryan was the quarterback, and I'd always be the guy that would defend Kyle. I'd be like, well, Matt Ryan sucks, and Matt Ryan's a choker, and Matt Ryan this, and recently Matt Ryan did give up a pretty bad lead or whatever, so yeah, maybe it was Matt Ryan, but not that Kyle's avoided criticism, because Kyle, he'll do great and he'll do amazing things, but he'll have his little stubborn ways and have his little shortcomings, and it is part of the process too. I mean, it took Andy Reid years and years and years to finally win a Super Bowl, and he still lost another one after he won his Super Bowl. So, but people still speak of Andy Reid in high regard. It is what it is.
Right.
Oh, great comment here, by the way.
Yes.
Fortnite Throwback mentioned also Brian Greasy helps him too. Brian Greasy, I think he's
So
just, I mean, even Jimmy G himself, I mean, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Now, those are black and white stats. They don't always say what I see in terms of the eye test or whatever. But at the end of the day, regardless, Jimmy G did a much better job this season of protecting the football and doing things that game managers usually do. And a lot of times he'd be a game manager type quarterback, but he wouldn't protect the football. So I think Brian Greasy's a very good addition to this team. I really think that he's going to be here for the long haul in terms of developing whatever quarterbacks, whether it be Brock Purdy, whether it be Trey Lance. People would bring this question up. Well, Trey Lance has got to go and blah, blah, blah. And I just, I don't want to jump to next season, but I just think that keeping both guys in general, and if it comes down to them competing, it just benefits our team in one way or the other. And you have two promising young quarterbacks on rookie deals. And with all of these amazing weapons, with all this great coaching, and it's a great situation for the 49ers to be in my opinion.
Totally. And we even said this on one of my episodes. I'm not sure if it was Rod who said it. Shout out to one of my co-hosts, Rod Callie, who's one of the
Rod's awesome. Good guy.
Awesome.
Really good guy.
Yeah. 49er fan, diehard. I think it was him that said, this is a problem that you want to have. I mean, imagine having two guys that are great at football. And, if Trey is who we think he is, then he can beat out Brock in a competition for a starting quarterback. And we have two great quarterbacks on our team that we can rely on.
And our guys get hurt anyway, so you got to have somebody get it.
So, I mean, let's cross that bridge when we get
there. Exactly. I know, but people I'd love to be, and sometimes I'll just bring it up regardless.
Right. Same here.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, my King. What's up, dude? He says, I think those 4 years in college, starting quarterback all 4 years for Brock Purdy has really helped him. Yeah, his floor was really high. He's a high floor, lower ceiling quarterback. Not necessarily elite ceiling, but he comes in and there's certain things that he does that veterans do right off the bat, and that's great to have. And we were very luxurious. It was a big luxury to have that. When Jimmy went down and Trey was already down, and otherwise we'd be stuck with Josh Johnson. Oh, Kyle Juszczyk at quarterback. Kyle Juszczyk's the emergency quarterback. I mean, who knows what would happen?
Yep.
Kenny says Kyle Shanahan is getting better and better with the weapons he has now, and has a number one defense as well. It's time. Yeah, we got to get back to that number one defense. So I didn't actually I'll pull up a stat that really alarmed me because the 49ers run defense is amazing. 78.8 per game. It's completely untouched in the league in comparison to other teams. But pass defense, actually, you know what? I didn't write it. Oh, you know what? Yeah, pass defense.
Thanks, Sean. Sorry.
We give up 224.7 yards per game, and that doesn't rank really high in terms of teams in the league. And Arizona Cardinals actually give up a little more than us, 235.8 yards per game in terms of the passing game. But and they give up 115 yards on the ground, so they're the 13th best run defense. But a lot of our amazing defensive stats are kind of like masked by our great. If you look at total yards, it's kind of masked by how little we give up in the run game. But don't get me wrong, we're very opportunistic. We make the big plays. For the most part, we get the sacks, we force the fumbles, we get the interception. It's a very fun defense to watch. Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, we have the stats and we have, the flashiness to go along with it. Like it's not just watch us, the flashy. Oh, like we actually put our money where our mouth is.
We've had, I can't count them and I can't remember the exact plays, but I just know this, that we score touchdowns on defense and we've had actual touchdowns taken away too. Stupid ticky-tacky penalties, and people in the chat will probably remind me of which plays those were, but locker room rant right here.
Yeah, that Nick Bosa sack, yeah.
There you go. John V from the Locker Room Rant. This is his YouTube channel. Great YouTube channel. He runs it with him and his two best friends that he grew up with. One's a Bills fan, one's a Bears fan. No, it's a Browns fan. And he just subbed. And since that just reminded me of the Buffalo Bills, Damar Hamlin.
Yes.
Regained consciousness today. I don't know the latest update, but the latest update that I'm aware of, if anybody wants to correct me, is that he did it. He was awake and he was able to write some messages. And he asked if the Bills had won the game. So, and they told him that you won the game of life. So, great to hear that he's doing better, recovering. Hopefully, he has a full recovery. And if you have any thoughts on that, go ahead.
Just from my standpoint, it was a kind of odd that when it happened, I was actually doing a live. I was streaming my 49ers overreaction show with the guest I had on for the Raiders preview, and we had the game, like we were all sort of like watching in our own homes, right? And I was watching it, and I said, why is the game still stopped? Like, I knew it stopped. And I said, is it like, what's happening? And they said, oh no, he's down. Like there's something wrong. And I was like, what is, like, is it, a concussion? Like, what is it? And they were like, no, they had to perform CPR on him. And I was like, wait, no, I get that, but like, it didn't sink in. And they go, no, Gina, they had to CPR him. He wasn't breathing. And I was like, oh my God, like, it didn't hit me until they said that, I think it was my friend Book, one of my co-hosts. And I was like, what? And I had to step away and I cried. Like, I just couldn't, like, it hurt me because I myself had been CPR before, but not for his reasons, but for something else. And I was just like, and then when I found out more of the tragedy, like how actual tragic it was, and how he had been on there like for 9 minutes and everything. And I just thought, this is and we're still streaming. It's still live, and we're still talking when it was about going
too. I was streaming with my friends, so I didn't even get to see any of this. All I saw was in the highlights. It saw like Josh Allen kept covering his face, and he was like panicking, and people were crying on the sidelines. So it was pretty scary looking. And what up? Cynthia said it was so sad. She actually said something here. She said, stopping by to show some love. Good game of the week, Raider. She's a Raider fan, but good friend of the show. And they gave us a hard run for money. Actually, it was a tougher game than we expected. But I do want to say this because we brought up Damar Hamlin, Jeremy Renner, who's a 49er fan, well-known actor who's from the Avengers series. He got ran over he had his own snowplow. He was helping his neighbor or his friend, a relative, I believe, with the snow situation that they had over in Lake Tahoe, and the snowplow ran over his leg. And I don't know if it has to be amputated or not, but obviously famous actor from the Avengers series, and just a really tough thing to overcome. So if we could just have a little moment of silence and some prayers for Damar Hamlin and Jeremy Renner, to just a little moment of silence, right? Do what you got to do. Okay, so it's very important, very important. Things in life are much more important than the games that we talk about and the games that people may play. And
absolutely,
so we always put that out there. And much love to the people and the prayers for our people out there who deserve it. And what did John V said something in the chat. He said, I cried like a prom queen when I read you won the game of life.
Aww.
Yeah, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I definitely had to bring that up. It's very, very, very important. And I didn't necessarily have it in my notes, but I knew I was going to bring it up eventually. So really, really quick, as far as this Arizona Cardinals game, it's a pretty lackluster matchup. Some things to look for. Brandon Ayuk needs 44 yards to get to the 1,000-yard mark. It's a good milestone of his. He's got 8 touchdowns. He needs 2 more to hit 10 touchdowns, basically. And the Cardinals have I mentioned their run defense, actually, which is 13th best in the league. The 49ers, I'm going to just throw it out there. They're trying to get the number 1 seed. I don't know if we do or not. But as far as my score prediction for the game, I'm saying 31-13. We're playing against a really, really piss poor quarterback in David Blau. And I'm not expecting the Jared Stidham thing to happen again. I really am. I'm not. I don't know where you are in terms of predictions. If you guys want to drop your predictions in the chat, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm typically a point spread type person. So when they play at home, especially, I always am like, Niners by 20.
Everybody predicted a blowout last week, by the way. Everybody had their ridiculous freaking blowout predictions last week, and they all went to shit. So this week you're probably going to be right, though. I mean, we blew them out last time in Mexico, right? And And they have a lot. They have more good players out this game. Actually, they have more players injured this time around.
I was so almost on the money with that Mexico game too. I think I said like 42 to like 10 or some shit. And people were like, oh my God, Gina, I can't believe you were that close. So
okay, you were pretty
Rod
close to the
became a
Mexican game.
believer. Yeah, Rod became a believer.
Okay, so we got Low the Truth 05. What's up, bro? How you doing? Says 27-6. Okay. Teron Lewis from 49 Faithful Lead podcast says 23-9. Obviously, Niners he's got there. The field is wet. 31 points. He's saying our running game's pretty good. So there's a heavy rainstorm in the Bay Area, Northern California.
Right.
So I totally get what you're saying. We'll see. And Low Truth says, "What's good, Bashar? How you doing, bro?" Jesus Christ, my king says, "Hard to predict because we don't know how much time the starters will get." You mentioned a great thing, Jesus Christ, my king, in the chat. If I could scroll up to find the messages, so many messages here. Oh, here we go. I found it quick. He said, "It's kind of scary how we keep whining about players." Oh, no, sorry. It's kind of scary how we keep winning without players like Debo and Elijah Mitchell. We have so many weapons on offense. There's times like we have all these weapons right now, and there's times where I almost forgot that we even have Debo on this team because it's like, we got all these other guys balling out. I mean, like, Debo almost became an afterthought, and no disrespect to Debo, too, because we all know how good of a player he is, especially when he's on point. Nighthawk Afterburner.
Tell me about it.
Nighthawk says 30-9. There you go. 49ers throwback says 23 points. I'm not sure I don't know what the other score he said was, but 34-10 for Raphael. And so mine was 31-13. And they showed all the score predictions for the people, all the analysts on NFL Network. Not one person picked the Cardinals, So we'll see. The bigger victory in terms of my opinion, and I said this before, is that we get the W, obviously, but no players come out injured. We come out healthy on top. So
hell yeah. I mean, that's bottom line. Need everybody for playoffs. Yep. I mean, the rain thing, that's definitely a factor. I'd like to win by 2 touchdowns, but I say Niners by 20. We're at home. We got Faithful.
Okay, she said it. Damian Lee, what's up, dude? He says I'm 34-12. And
what's up, Damian?
Jesus Christ, my king says I hope Bosa gets 20 sacks. I hope so too. Maybe we take advantage of their offensive line and make it happen. They take advantage of a weaker quarterback. Let's see. He says Bashar has a picture of himself in the background. Even Grant doesn't have that swing. Look, I even have it below me too. See that right there? I got below me as well. I don't know. Am I that egotistical? Damn. I don't know. Maybe it's good to be cocky sometimes, isn't it?
Hey, you know what? You gotta show up with the swag and just be like, I gotta like that, y'all.
Hey, by the way, the artwork was done by Get 'em Boy. Doesn't have his name tagged on here, but
Lou, shout out to Lou. That's my boy.
Oh, you know him? Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let me put his. Go ahead.
Shout out to Lou. That's my dog. Okay, first of all, I just talked to him last night on the phone right before my power went out. He's gonna actually be doing my logo, my new logo. I have a current lame logo I did myself on Canva. Thank you, Canva. He's going to be doing my logo.
I was trying to put Get 'em Boy's link to his Twitter on the chat. I just put it there. That's the guy who did my graphics. He takes donations. He made a GTA graphic for me. He does a lot of nice things for Niner fans. If you want him to create anything for you, just hit him up and work it out with him.
Cash app him.
Yeah, there you go. Great guy.
I brought him like hell of business last year, and he was like, "Oh my God, I do anything for you." No, I'm just playing. But he is an awesome person, great artist, and I love him. So yeah, he's amazing.
Steve Supremo said, "Don't forget Trent Williams is still tipping plays." He's referring to with Jesse Naylor when what's funny? I want to get back. I want to get back to Jesse on that and see have they stopped tipping plays or have they tipped plays? Or what's the success rate and the fail rate on these plays that they tip to the opposing defense? We got to analyze this. Okay, so John V says, "MF, I got to learn that Canva shit." Yeah, Canva is very easy. I do a lot of my graphics on Canva. I did my overlay right here that you see from Canva, and it's canva.com. They don't pay me. But it's pretty easy to do some graphic work on there if you want to do some quick stuff. All my thumbnails are done through Canva, all my generic ones or whatever.
If an idiot like me can use Canva and handle it, trust me, anybody can do it. And I have no creative like fingers in like at all. So I can't even put it into words, but I'm not creative. Okay. I'm only written creative. I'm just not creative. So period.
Okay. She said, Tanya says that guy hella quiet. I'm not sure why. Let's talk about this. So they pay Bash Fam. He's being modest. Oh, they do pay me. Okay. Well, I didn't know about that. I got to check my bank account. Let's get before we wrap this up. I want to talk about Patrick Willis. We got Patrick Willis. That's an inside joke with my friends, and I always say that. Anyways, I met Patrick Willis before. I actually got to play basketball with him once. Really, really nice guy.
Wow.
Amazing player to watch throughout his career. My first memories of Patrick Willis, just his rookie year, I just remember right off the bat. I believe the first time I saw him play was his first game as a rookie against the Arizona Cardinals. Remember, some player, was it a wide receiver, I believe, was just running down the sidelines, and Patrick Willis just came out of nowhere and tracked him down and tackled him down. When in that case, at that point in time, like you would never expect a linebacker to outrun a wide receiver and catch up to him. So right off the bat, I was like, well, this guy's gonna be a player in this league, and he's a finalist right now to be in the Hall of Fame. This is his 4th year of eligibility to be in the Hall of Fame. Any thoughts on that, Gina, about Patrick Willis's great career?
Shit, man, he's one of the best defensive players sideline to sideline. Like, I wonder if there's any problems with him getting in. There shouldn't be, because he's one of the best in franchise history, in my opinion. I just, one of the bad things is he didn't get to play, excuse me, for that long, but that shouldn't be held against him because injuries happen. It's part of football.
Yeah, I was going to bring up, like, the only hang up I could come up with is just that, he played a 7-year career. He didn't, have that illustrious, 10-year plus career that other great NFL linebackers had. Unfortunately, he didn't win the Super Bowl. We had a really, really great shot to beat the Ravens, and it kind of seemed like the NFL was out to help little Ray Lewis get his last ring on his final way out there.
I still see that to this day. That is
I hate to blame the refs, but it just so many crazy things happened in that game. And without Joey Mahoney says, I'll never forget the hit that he put on Brad Smith. Oh yeah, he folded up Brad Smith like a lawn chair out on that play, and yep, that was definitely a big time hit among many that Patrick Willis has had. He only played 7 years, but they were a great 7 years to watch, and it was awesome. The years that him and Bowman were both neck and neck as the best linebackers in the NFL.
Yeah,
those were great years, and so hopefully Patrick Willis gets the Hall of Fame. He's one of the jerseys that I own. Actually, I have 2 Patrick Willis jerseys, and Jesus Christ, my king said Bowman was my dude. Bowman was awesome too. Yeah, Bowman. They were a great tandem, amazing tandem to watch. And we're currently watching now Fred Warner and Greenlaw, in the mix. So both of them, Greenlaw's having an amazing season. He got snubbed with the Pro Bowl too. Couldn't believe that. He said his pick 6 against Seattle was 6. Oh yeah, yep. When Patrick Willis had the pick 6 against the Seahawks back when JT O'Sullivan was the quarterback. I remember that. Remember that game very, very well. A lot of great memories with Patrick Willis. Just a really, really nice person, and anybody who's met him, I haven't had anybody run by me any bad stories about meeting Patrick Willis. It's all, he was cool when I met him, got to play hoops with him, and everybody I know just has many good things to say about Patrick Willis. Yeah. So thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys have been awesome. I pretty much read everybody's name. If I missed somebody, I apologize if I missed anybody. What a 49ers throwback. Yeah, I mean, you guys are awesome. Without the chat, we don't have a show. One time I ran a show. I remember I ran a live stream and I accidentally set the setting to make this. It was like, there's a made for kids setting on YouTube, and if you hit that setting and you do a live stream, it eliminates the live chat. So I ran a live stream once, and within the first 2 minutes, I was like, oh, there's no live stream, there's no chat. And then I said, I selected made for kids. And I told everybody, look, I'm going to close the stream right now. I'm going to end it right now. We're going to start it over again, and we're going to do a whole new one just so I can have the chat, because without the chat, I don't have a show. It's just as important to me as having my guest. I've never ran a show with no guest either. Speaking of my guest, we got Gina from GinaReppinDaBay. I have the description to her social media, to her YouTube channel, to her Twitter, and anything you want to say about what you're doing with the Niners and your sports podcast. Go right ahead, Gina.
Thank you. And first, like this show, you guys, like Bashar's show, you guys are all 49er minded, just like him, just like me. So thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me. And gosh, we're just always connect on so much. So I'm GinaReppinDaBay. I have my own channel, GinaReppinDaBay Productions. It's a new channel, just started a few weeks ago on YouTube. And I do 49er shows, but not just that. We're doing NFC division. So I have co-hosts that are Saints fans, Falcons fans, and also starting NBA, Warriors, and we're going to be doing the Western Conference. So, and also NBA in general. So you guys, I'm going to be covering a little bit of everything. So if you want to just like talk it all, whatever, check me out.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to go on their show before, and they have a really nice panel, and they bring fans from other fan bases on there. It's really nice. Oh, Big Red, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. I hate to say this, but we're actually gonna end the show right now. But hey, once the show ends, you can rewind from the beginning and start from the beginning. I don't know how late you hopped in here. And Damon Lee says, "What about the trash site called the Rams?" That's what he's referring. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you do some NBA stuff as well, and I've done some Warriors stuff on my channel before, and I'm gonna probably do more of the. For me, it's like once I'm locked into the 49ers and NFL, it's kind of hard for me to do my Warriors stuff. It's just how I operate. But eventually, I'll do my Warrior stuff, later in the off season.
Well, I would love for you to come on and talk basketball. And I want to give a shout out to Rod Cowley, to Dan the Man. He's a Rams fan. Jordan Watkins. He's a Falcons fan, but he's a Warriors fan. And Book and Treese, they're Saints fans. And I want to give a shout out also to oh my God, I'm missing somebody. Am I missing anybody? Anyway,
there was some girl that's a Saints fan. I remember she was really good.
Yeah, that's true. But there was Tina. But those are all the people that are on my channel, and you guys got to check it out. And we're always looking to bring anyone on to talk sports with us. So yeah, check it out. We have so much fun, dude. We just always the chat's fun. So and we love our fellow 49ers fans, so come on, check us out. And Bash, you got to come on and check us out with Warriors too.
I will definitely be on there for the Warriors talk. Really quick before I end this, you said, I know you have GinaReppinDaBay, and then I've seen GinaReppinDaBay Productions. Is that two different YouTube channels, or is there a difference? Or
ReppinDaBay Productions is my channel. So
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, hey, once again, thank you, Gina. You've been awesome. The chat, you guys have been awesome. You guys are all amazing. Thank you guys. Hopefully, thank you guys for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Peace. Let's beat the Cardinals, baby. Hope the Eagles lose. Let's go. Come on, 49ers. Let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
Gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside.